Hello, welcome to Focus. I'm your host, Mark Warnock, and today we're here with the Executive Director of Nutmeg Senior Rides, Margaret Smith-Hale. Thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting us.
So tell me a little bit about the Nutmeg Senior Rides.
Nutmeg Senior Rides is about 13 years old now. We're a not-for-profit. We're a membership organization, and we offer rides to members in 10 towns in north central Connecticut that is door to door, which is really important because the average age of the people that ride with us is 78. So the door to door service is unique and different from what others offer, and it's one of the reasons why families like people to ride with us. The other thing that's different is that we offer rides 365 days a year. And you can pretty much go anywhere you want to go for any reason, so that we try to keep people as independent as they were when they drove. We take people to cemeteries. We take people to funerals. We take people to visit their loved ones. We take people to nursing homes before they shut them down. We take people to medical appointments. And one of the other things, I had sent you a map of our service area. Our service area is so exhaustive that a person in Enfield can go from Enfield to Farmington for an appointment. Now, tomorrow, we're taking a lady from Windsor to Farmington to visit her husband, who's now in a nursing home there. So this day in and day out, the area that we cover becomes more important to the people that we serve. It's really different than anything else you'll see that I know of.
Now, do you guys, I'm assuming the door to door, does that also include what you guys be doing during the month of November? Do you guys do like election?
We do not do the election because we've been asked by the parties not to do that. What we've been told is that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party offer to bring people to the polls and have asked us not to compete with them. Okay. So we don't. We have taken people to the drop boxes to drop their mail-in ballot through the secure ballot box at the town hall. And we've done that numerous times now over the last week or so. But we don't do. We initially thought that would be good, but we haven't done it because of the request of the parties.
As you were saying, you guys cover a huge range of towns outside the 10 towns.
Right.
Like I saw in the map, which you'll see right now on the screen. Like you can be in Enfield, you can go all the way down to Britain. I saw like you can all the way down here to cover.
And we have a lady in Windsor who now goes every Tuesday to a particular wound center at the Central Connecticut Hospital because they have a particular expertise that she couldn't get in Hartford. And I know that sounds crazy to the rest of us who are north of Hartford, but there are just some areas, and of course the Hospital for Special Care is in New Britain. And over the years, we've taken people there for therapy. So it's just kind of evolved. We have a lady in Enfield recently whose longtime doctor was at 1260 Celestine Highway in Wethersfield, and all of a sudden he moves to Towland. Well, she had no other way to get there. Unfortunately, Towland's on our map.
Yeah.
We would have taken her anyway.
Yeah.
Because she's been a 12-year customer, but it's just so different. We take people to day surgery. We take people at 5:30 in the morning to St. Francis for back surgery and then go back at 1 o'clock and bring them home. And on the way home, we stop at the pharmacy because that's what they've got to do.
Yeah.
So you just got to, I sometimes tell people that we're like the family member, except we don't gripe.
That's pretty good. I like that line. So how'd you get involved with the Nutmeg Senior Rides?
I had retired from the insurance business, and my children thought that I was a little having too much fun. And this a committee had formed a not-for-profit, and they were looking through Craigslist for someone to run it for them, and my children thought that I should apply for it. So that's how. I don't know anything about transportation. I don't know anything about seniors. I don't know anything about what I'm doing, but I can tell you that what I'm doing is compelling, and it's really important in helping people age. One of the things that we try to do when we can is to work with a family before someone's getting ready to give up their driver's license. We're doing this in Bloomfield right now with a man who's in Atlanta. We're trying to help his mother get comfortable. She's in her 90s. We took her grocery shopping the other day. We're trying to give her the information to make the decision that it's really okay to give up her driving because she has an alternative where she can go. And she's got a friend. Next ride, she's going to, I think, pick up her friend and take her friend with her. And we get that request. I had a request the other day. Can I pick up my sister and take her to the hairdresser like I always do? So we just try to put people back where they were when they drove so that it's not traumatic.
That is fantastic. So how are you guys staying in touch with the clients? Has it changed any during this whole time of COVID and everything else that's going on?
We pretty much have left them to contact us because that's a family decision. I mean, we sanitize our cars. Anybody that's driving has to text me their temperature before they leave in the morning. We've tried to, and we're looking for a grant right now from the Hartford Foundation to have an engineering company actually test our cars once a week for COVID. So that we don't take people who are exposed to schools. We don't pick up people coming in from the airport. So we're trying to be as secure as we can. But we have some customers who had to continue to give rides. Our average ride count runs around 700 a month, and we dropped to 182 in April. But those 182 rides were critical because for the most part, they were people that had to go to dialysis and back. And we're now back up to about 500 a month. So, wow. But it's really a decision of the family of whether they're comfortable that their loved one can get into a car with someone that's not family. Wow. And we're trying to be as smart as we can to keep their confidence up.
Have you found the situation that we're all in has affected you guys with volunteering? Is the people that do the driving, are they volunteers or are they?
It's about 60-40. It's about 60% staff, 40% volunteers. We had 43 volunteers. But any given month, probably 20 of them gave at least one ride. And we're down now to 11 volunteers, most of whom took time off. Most of them took April, May, and came back in June because they had to make sure that they were safe.
Yeah.
And so one of the key reasons why we were able to continue when some volunteer networks had to totally shut down was because we've always had a mix of staff and volunteers, and that's made the difference between us being able to continue to operate.
If someone did want to volunteer, you guys still accepting volunteers?
Absolutely. We have a nationwide we check backgrounds with people for their driving and their criminal through a nationwide network. And we need to have people with, some of our volunteers have small SUVs, but for the most part, we need a 2 or a 4-seat sedan. But what's really important to our volunteers is that through our software, they can go online and pick the rides that fit them. Mm-hmm. So most of our volunteers now have identified customers that they feel comfortable with, that pretty much stay in their homes. And so they go online and they select the customers that they'll take people to and from dialysis because dialysis is always checking for COVID. And so I can see from the ones that they pick that they're picking the ones that they personally feel comfortable with. And that's what they should be able to do. And that's why we set that system up that way, so that, and if the volunteer has something that comes up and they can't do a ride that they've signed up for, they can go back into the system and take themselves off, and it sends us a message that that ride now needs a driver. So from a volunteer standpoint, it's perfect in terms of, the flexibility.
Yeah, and we have all the information on how people can reach out to you guys if they want to volunteer or anything else that they want to do. So what we usually like to wrap up the segments with is just asking, what is the one thing during this whole time and everything that's going on that you're most thankful for?
The ability to keep helping people get where they need to go. People will say to us, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been there. So the fact that we had a mixture of staff and volunteers, we had to decide in March whether we were going to be able to continue to offer rides. And as you can see, in April, we pretty much were down to the bare who has to go. Mm-hmm. But we were just compelled by the need. So we're just so grateful that we've been able to continue to serve people at a time when they really needed us more than they did before.
Well, that's fantastic. And thank you so much for giving me the time, and giving us the time to talk to you about Nutmeg Senior Rides. And if anyone wants to get more information, there'll be more at the end of the show and during the segment. So thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you next time here in Focus.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you so much.
Thank you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.